My name is MAKALAPUA Kanuha, and I am the Complex Culture Advisor for the Westin Ka'anapali Ocean Resort Villas, as well as the Westin Nanea Ocean Villas. And I was actually born and raised on Oahu, and raised in a valley called Palolo. And I moved to Maui in 1990 and raised my children here, so I currently live in Lahaina. Mahalo for that question. Yes. I'm very young in the industry, but I never really worked in a hotel. So my first love is entertaining. So I actually emceed at the Royal Lahaina Resort, but as an MC. So I wasn't an employee of the hotel. And because I did not want to work in a hotel, the perception that I was told is you're gonna speak different, you're gonna look different, you're gonna behave differently. We may not recognize you anymore. So that's a perception that stayed with me for many years until I had some wonderful friends from Kaanapali Beach Hotel, and they said, no, Maka, it's a good industry, it's a good business, and if you come over into the hotel, then you can see for yourself. And that's when it clicked, and I said, yes, I'm having this perception, but I haven't really experienced being in the hotel industry. So that's where my first real hotel business, hotel opportunity, was working at Kaanapali Beach Hotel. And now I have a whole different outlook of the industry, and it's because I was given the opportunity to create what's been created today here at the Westin Nanea. My hopes is that we have more Native Hawaiian speakers, opening up more opportunities for our young people. You know, ikawama mo, ikawama hope. You know, our future is in the past. So in this industry, my hope is to open up opportunities for Native Hawaiian speakers, and I've already achieved that with the collaboration of corporate, the collaboration with our Native Hawaiian community members, community leaders, and that's how we together built Nanea. Yeah, Nanea was not just built with the ideas from corporate. Yeah, it wasn't, it was the company, or I should say Starwood, really wanted to do it right. So prior to even having any plans, what they did was they reached out into the Native Hawaiian community and they asked them, help us to build your resort. So we had our kupuna from Lahaina, Uncle Ed Lindsay, Auntie Patty Nishiyama. We had Kaino Hokajo. We also had Akoni Akana. And I was just blessed to be a part of the whole plan, because after they were done giving their ideas of how Nanea should be built and what Nanea should serve as, because this is why we have a cultural center, is the goal was to have people learn about our home. So now, given the opportunity in this industry, I was able to build a cultural department. And a culture department meaning that I don't have vendors that come and do lay classes. I don't have vendors that come and do ukulele classes. I used to, and that's a good thing too, because it allowed our population, our Native Hawaiian population, to come, and it gave us that opportunity to sustain them as well, but also to showcase their talents, you know, their talents of whether it's to weave lauhala, or it's whether to do 3 different types of lei making. But it was our opportunity, my opportunity, to be able to reach out and bring them in here. But also today, we have a culture department and Native Hawaiians who can speak, who can read, who can write and understand Hawaiian. And mind you, there was no job description. So as I was sitting with corporate, they're like, okay, Maka, we want to really do this, but what would the job description be? I said, I'll take care of that, not a problem. And I even had to create my own job description, because having a culture department or director of culture or complex director of complex culture advisor, this is not something that is very common in this hospitality industry. So we're all learning. I mean, they're learning okay, we want this, but how do we do it? I'll show you how we're going to do it, right? So how can we elevate the culture experience for the guests, but also open up opportunities for our Native Hawaiian young people. So today, they are full-time workers. They work 5 days a week with full benefits of the Westin Nanea Ocean Villas and the Westin Kaanapali Ocean Resort Villas. And they can sustain their families. So what this is even if they want to be teachers when they graduate from college, there's options, more options for them in this industry. Because, in the days of old, and we hear, the mo'olelo coming from our kupuna is, no, we just could do this and we're okay with it. But visitors are coming to Hawaii, and we should be the one opening up the door and going, Velina, welcome. Because why? We have the stories that was passed down generations to us. And this is beneficial for the next generation. So one day when I'm not here, I'm not worried, because it just pass on the torch to the next ones, and you folks gonna be okay. That's what success looks like, and that is my hope for the next generations, is that even when I'm not here, our kupuna are gonna still be here. Yeah. Something fun. Well, I enjoy traveling. Yes, I enjoy traveling throughout my whole career, even prior to coming into the hotel industry. So on Oahu, I first started my entertainment career, fun. It was at the Aloha Hotel. So I worked for Carlos South Seas Review for 10 years as well. And then I went down to Paradise Cove, and I worked for O'Brien Eselu. And then from there, I was given the opportunity to come to the Royal Lahaina Resort. And I was the MC there for 10 years. And at the same time, I drove a pineapple truck for Maui Pineapple Company for 10 years as well. And in this industry of entertaining, I was given opportunities to travel. So I have gone to 11 different European countries. And one of my favorite countries that I went to was Egypt. It's because I've never ridden a camel. And when I got there, I was like, that's a real camel. And I rode the real camel. So, it was a very cultural, wonderful experience for myself. And because I love culture, I wanted to learn about other people's food, their language, and, looking at their art pieces, going down into a tomb, just being in the moment of learning. I also went to Japan, Hong Kong, Thailand, Thailand, and Taiwan, and to the South Pacific. So those are the fun things that I like to do, is to travel, because I want to learn about other people. Like I said, I'm Hawaiian, Chinese, English, Irish, Scotch, so we really live in a diverse community, right? And but those are the fun things that being in this industry that I had these opportunities to do is to go travel. And one of the new things that I really enjoy is going on cruise lines. Yeah, so I went up to Alaska, my husband and I, and we also went on our Malaysian cruise with our friends as well. So, and then again, I'm always looking for opportunities to learn about other people's culture, but not to go there and to take, but also to give back. Yeah. So with this paakahili, this was actually made by one of our kupuna in Lahaina, and this is flow makikau. And to have many of these paakahilis been given to you, such an honor. It really is. It was such an honor to be the caretaker of this, this mea makamai, like these precious treasures. And of course, we know that the kahilis represent our ali'i, but I just wanted to acknowledge our kupuna, Flow makikau, for all of these beautiful paakahili.